Neil Magny, yeah, you're coming off of a couple losses, some brutal losses that showcase your age, showcase maybe the chin is fading a little bit. Michael Morales and Carlos Prates knocked you out, but those are young studs who seem to be at the top of the welterweight division right now. Zaleski dos Santos gets finished by Chidi and Jaquani, who's been very up and down, and he enters as a minus 200 favorite against a dude who we know is a live money machine, is an underdog machine. I think Neil Magny deserves a little bit of respect right here, and I think he might just earn it. How are you seeing this fight, and why do you think Dos Santos is such a big favorite thus far?
I truly think it has a lot to do with Neil Magny and the way just he is perceived in the world, man. Like, not a lot of people are giving respect to Neil Magny unless you're a hardcore fan and you know this guy can really put some knuckles to work, man. Because Zaleski, I mean, he has the crazy power, right? Power in all his strikes, throws kicks at the range. He's flashy. He can crash in. He can do all the stuff that the crowd really likes to see, and especially because he has almost that reckless abandon as he goes in. But all of those just lead to Neil Magny having a better chance of winning this fight, especially on paper, like 9 times out of 10, whatever you want to call it. I think Neil Magny wins this fight more often than not.
I think Zaleski has to expend his gas tank in the first round to be able to defeat Neil Magny here. You got to beat up the legs. You got to go and shoot that blast double. But that's the thing, Magny, I mean, not fantastic takedown defense. Let me see what the number is right here. Takedown defense is 54% here. Sorry, let me get, there we go.
54.
Yeah, 54% takedown defense right here for Neil Magny, 21% takedown accuracy for Dos Santos. So you're going to have to get it up there. Magny can get back up, prior to contrary belief right here. He can get back to his feet. And I think that we could see something similar to the Mike Malott fight right there, where you get maybe beat up early on, but you just take over the fight late. Because one thing that we know about Dos Santos is the man fades, especially when you're forced backwards for an extended amount of time. And what is the story of Neil Magny, the man who, let me see, I had the note right here for Neil Magny, or maybe I don't have it. This dude's got like a record level of welterweight victories right here, like Hall of Fame level, like the most ever, right? Like this dude he wins and he wins and he wins. And Zaleski needs to be very explosive and very powerful in order to get this win. So I think he is super duper live right here. But let's talk about let's talk about just kind of like how else we can make some money right here. You could take Neil Magny just plus money. I feel confident. Rangy, grind him down, jab and volume style for Neil Magny is going to be the approach right here. But what other ways are you seeing? The total is 2.5. Over is minus 180. Under is plus 150. I think some money could be made on these totals.
Yeah, total 2.5. You said the minus was what, Derek?
Minus 180. Minus 180 for the over, plus 150 for the under.
Yeah, I mean, I like, especially if you're a Neil Magny better, I like the over because I do think he's going to have to endure some damage going in there. But 2.5, I mean, something tells me Neil Magny can finish this fight right around that 2-second round mark. Like if Dos Santos has to dump his gas tank, especially early in the fight, and Neil Magny is able to work that range, really pick him apart. We've seen Neil Magny do some real good work. So I like the over, Derek, but one thing that kind of threw me a little bit, Neil Magny by points plus 270. So a lot of people are also thinking that if he's going to be winning, the decision's there. But not a lot of people are thinking he's going to be winning the fight by finish. Neil Magny by TKO and by submission, plus 11. Yeah, 1,100, Derek. Well, 1,100. So they're not finishing it. Do you think this finishes at all in sight?
I think the day, and this is going to sound crazy because if you look at the methodologies right here, I mean, you're seeing knockout, you're seeing a submission victory. I think the days of Neil Magny, the Haitian sensation finisher, I think those days might be over, my friend. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, I listen. He's not the same guy. He's not the same guy that we've seen. Title window, I think, is out of the picture right here. I think he's a fun fighter, 37 years old, who, when he's fighting adequate fights of fighters his age, I think he can do the classic Neil Magny approach and squeak out that points victory, steal rounds. I think that's what he's best at. So I think that's why this could be lock of the week right here. Or we could look very, very silly if Dos Santos just comes out and starches them. So it's one of those ones, man. It's hard to bet on older dudes in the welterweight division right here. 35 years old plus, not a pretty sight, but I think it is fair to say that the consensus pick is Neil Magny. And if I didn't answer accordingly, I'm actually going to roll with the over minus 180. I think that's a steal of a number right there. So, act accordingly on that one.